Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Riis M'en, your lovely friend, and come back with a new topic as you have read the title. That entire nation wants to understand what exactly been framed into the Farm Bill 2020. Today I will try to cover all the points and let you understand what exactly it is, what are the demands of farmers, will they stand out or will they really not accept anything less than the withdrawal of the three new farm laws by the central government. We will explain why the farmers across the country, especially in Punjab and Haryana, are raising their voice and protesting against the government Farm Bill 2020. The government was on its path to do something good. Then, where did this problem come from? We will talk about all of this in today's topic. So, let's start. India has been insisting in favor of an initiation on agriculture bills, but we thought that the government must have deliberated over whatever they had done while bringing in the agriculture bills. But unfortunately, now that so many protests are erupting, the situation has come down to becoming very serious, especially now that the Prime Minister has said farm bills are historic and it's a production shield for farmers. Now, the moment the Prime Minister said that, our radars picked it up because the same was said during the time of GST that it was a historic bill and it was almost a second independence for the country. What GST bill did to the country and economy is in front all of us to see. Furthermore, many big faces are on ground to support the protest. Now you can imagine the politics and pressure that lead to this. I won't mention their celebrities and politicians' names. The list will be too long. I need to cover my today's topic first. Guys, there are more than 250 farmer organizations who have declared that they would protest even more this week as this bill goes into the Rajya Sabha. So we will get to see even more street protest. In the midst of this, the Prime Minister has declared that the farmer bill is a great move which would be for their benefit and that the farmers are being misguided. Somehow I think farmers are being misguided. I will let you know and cover the point as well. So in today's video, we will try to find out whether the main issue that the farmers are protesting about is actually a manifestation of the people being misled, or this is actually an issue that the government should have solved upon consultation, the lack of which is causing the farmers to lash out. India is known as peasantry country, and if government cannot help the farmers, then everyone has to stand with our valuable farmers. A question must have popped up in your mind: why they are valuable for us? Guys, understand, if they won't grow, if they won't cropping, then what we will eat? The fight is not a specific religion, community, caste. This is related to the nation and humanity. Every religion is in support. Then why government doesn't understand that they are actually for their rights? Guys, actually protest initiation were being for 2 to 4 months before in Punjab and Haryana. In June, the ordinance was passed and later the bills were passed in the parliament, which has raised concerns and fears among the farmers. For the people who don't know, our agriculture minister name I'm mentioning here, he is Mr. Narendra Singh Tomar, our agriculture minister. Get your general knowledge, keep up. So the Indian government has brought in three agriculture bills. all the three laws are against the farmer and favors the corporate companies. Therefore, we demand that the government annuls all three laws. Okay, let me give an opportunity to explain the three bills in easy way. Constitution Farm Bills 2020 has divided in three parts. Number one, the Farmers Empowerment and Production Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020. Number two, the Farming Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020. Number three, the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill 2020. Number one, let's start. When you look at these words, empowerment and production agreement, and it is easy to understand that the bill has something to do with protecting the farmer interest through a legal agreement. Now the question is, protect the farmers from what? Again, we look at the title of the bill. It says on price assurance and farm services. That means you are a farmer and I'm a business owner and I want to buy your product, and it can be kind of grains and vegetables. For that, I need to get into a legal agreement with you. And this agreement is for farmers' interest, so that a farmer cannot be cheated. A farmer can be cheated by many ways. Suppose if I tell you that I need 1 ton of rice at so and so price, and later I will tell you that half of the rice is not a good quality. Hence, I will ask you to drop it down the pricing. So, to prevent this kind of change of thoughts and any other form of exploitation, this bill provides a dispute settlement mechanism between farmer and a buyer by establishing authority. So for everything looks good. Now I want to pay attention on to the last two words, farming services. I mean, we understand what is price assurance. Okay, whatever a farmer and a buyer decides over an agreement, that is what should be paid to the farmer. This we know. But what is the context of the word farm services? It sounds like as if a buyer specifically tell the farmer what quality and grade is required when to deliver the products, and could be more such demands. Now this is called contract farming. The agreement will outline conditions for the production of farm products for their delivery requirements to the buyer premises. The farmer then agrees to supply product based on the quality standards and delivery requirements of the purchaser and many other matters. In return, the buyer, which is usually a company, agrees to buy the products often at a price that is established in advance. That means the primary purpose of this act is for contract farming. The secondary purpose of this is providing nationwide legal framework wherein a farmer will produce the crops as per the contracts with corporate investors. For a mutually agreed remuneration, the government says that this act will transform Indian agriculture and attract private investment. Well, if you see it does private investment, company often agrees to support the farmers throughout supplying inputs, assisting with land preparation, providing production advice, and transportation produce to its premises. However, if you look at the farmer side, therefore a powerful corporate investors would legally dominate the farmers and put the liability clauses on them. As you know, everything today comes with the condition supply that many of educated people find it difficult to follow up. So obviously their chances where private company can exploit a farmer very easily with legal clauses. This is major problem for the farmer and it is genuine one. Number two, it's called the farming produce, the trade and commerce Promotion Facilitation Bill 2020. So the explanation here is, if you look at the title, say trade and commerce promotion and facilitation, that means talking about trading of farm goods outside the physical premises of mandi or APMC yards. Earlier, agriculture trade could be conducted only in the APMC yards, like warehouse cold storage of mandis, but this new act will give farmers the freedom to sell their goods anywhere within the states or outside any states. Now you would ask, what is APMC? So guys, APMC stands for Agricultural Produce Market Committee. There are about 2,477 principal regulated market based on geography in India, and 4843 sub-market yards regulated by the respective APMCs. If you know all that, the subjects in India are divided in three lists: union list, state list, concurrent list. Agriculture comes under the state list. Many states like Punjab and Haryana could lose the big source of state revenue. You must have seen your parents on Saturday or Sunday going to mandi to buy the vegetable and other agricultural supplies. Now these mandis has spread across the nation, and farmers sell their agriculture produce in these mandis, and these mandis controlled by the state government through APMC. APMC is the you can say them middleman. Now there are restrictions for farmers if they sell their agriculture produce outside the mandi, because the products that have been minimum support price, in short it's called MSP, need to be compulsorily go through APMC. Otherwise, if you see a small farmer can sell directly to the consumer, they are even doing it now. But if you are a large scale farmer and you want to produce to be protected by the government, then you have to notify APMC or trade with the only APMC licensed trader. So now, anyhow, this will allow barrier free trade in agriculture produce outside the notified APMC mandis. With the help of this bill, the, the state government will not impose taxes on sale and purchase of farm produce outside the mandis, and give farmers the freedom to sell their produce at good price. If you see, this bill is beneficial for big farmers because they will have more choices and they can actually start selling to the private players. On the other hand, this will hardly make a difference to the small farmers. They are anyhow selling outside the mandis, plus due to transportation and logistics cost. Small farmers don't have any incentive to go long distance or interstate to sell the goods. So yes, some big farmers will get better choices. But I also want to bring in another perspective. This will also a way for the government to get out of the agriculture business. Once the farmers gets into the entry into the market, they can sell to anyone and earn more. However, farmers' income will also depends upon ups and downs of the market. Suppose the demands for a particular product in the market is low. Due to low demand, the prices will fall, but the cost of the cultivation was high. You see, now a farmer will be excused between the cost and the cultivation and low prices. In this situation, the government will not intervene by giving any form of subsidy of procurement. So there is a trade-off. Obviously there will be a trade-off. You can't have everything. Plus the private place is smart, the function on low cost. They will use every strategy to buy it less price and sell it at a high price to earn profit. So there is a point. MSP must be decided for the farmers. This will be beneficial to them. So dear government, please listen to the farmer. MSP must have into the bills, because point number 2 is not going to relevant to the in favor of farmers, it is completely going to the corporate sides. So this must be mentioned, and these words are mine, and it must be approached to the government. Mm, so let's start our bill point 3, this the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill 2020. So here we go. Now, this one is not a new bill. Central government has made an amendment in the existing Essential Commodities Bill. First of all, what is Essential Commodities Bill? Basically, it's a law that controls the production, supply and distribution of certain commodities. From the title of the bill, you can figure out that it is talking about essential commodities. Now, what are those commodities? Now, these commodities are such things. Suppose if you illegally store them for creating artificial demand, or do you black marketing of such commodities, it will affect the normal life of the people, you and me. For example, certain essential foods, medicine, fuel, petroleum products, etc. With the help of this law, central government can include new commodities as in when the need arises, and it can also to take them off the list once the situation improves. For example, let's say there is shortage of onion. Suppose there are some traders or wholesalers, they have kept a lot of onion in stock in order to create artificial demand. When the demand increases, obviously the prices will increase. So the whole idea behind creating the artificial demand is to sell the product at a high price. Now, what the central government can do this? It can bring onions under the act to make sure that the onions are available to people at the right price. Recently, let me give you an example. Recently, in March 2020, the central government brought mask and hand sanitizer under the act to make sure these products are available to the people at the right price and in the right quality during the pandemic in India. Then, from 1st July 2020, the government again removed the mask and sanitizer from the essential commodities. So this is the purpose of essential commodities, guys. Government government bill is not completely has to be withdrawn. It has good something good in it in favor of you and me, the common man. But something we have to stand for our farmers, that MSP has to be must be mentioned, and APMC were being, because they were the price discovery they were doing. So farmers is little bit confused, so and misled by the opposition. So anyways, we will discuss later. So I hope now you understand the purpose of this bill, and now the amendment that has been suggested and then added in this bill regarding removing certain commodities as essential. So what the government of India that was it to remove certain commodities as essential, so that it will allow the government to regulate the supply and prices only in cases of war, famine, extraordinary price rises on natural calamities. And those commodities are food items including cereals, pulses, potatoes, onion, edible oil, and edible oil seeds. As you can see, these commodities are consumed on daily basis by you and me. Now that these commodities are removed from the essential list, that means obviously their prices will go up, and the government is saying that these items will be added back into the essential list only during situation like war, famine, extraordinary price rises on natural calamities. So guys, somewhere government is call of their duties, somewhere he has to be intervened, and they are the government and they has to be intervened with the laws. So no one hand by removing. So on one hand, government by removing these items from essential commodities list, The government has taken a good step towards the boosting farmers' income, but you look at the food stuff like pulses, onion, and edible oil, they are part of every household daily essential commodities. Now, the government is not regulate the supply of such food items, then there is a high chance of hoardings. That is why right now if you go to the market you will find the cost of these items have increased. Check the prices of edible oils. Recently the price hike in your daily tea. So the new amendment also states that the government will regulate the stocks of these items based on rising prices. Now there are few more conditions to it. You see pulses, cereals, oilseeds, and edible oil. They are uh, they are non-perishable items. In other words, they can be stored at a room temperature for months or years as they have longer shelf life. So the government is saying that it will only interfere and bring these items again in essential commodities list if there is a 50% increase in the retail price of these non-perishable items. For example, let's say the cost of your favorite dal is 100 rupees per kg. Well, now the dal is no longer in essential list. If it all tomorrow the cost goes more than 50%, that is 151 rupees per kg, only then the government will interfere and bring it back in essential list in order to control its pricing. So 50% is the limit of the non-perishable items. For perishable items like onion, potato, the limit is set to 100%. That means if the cost of onion today is, let's say, is 60 rupees per kg, if it all the cost goes up more than 100%, that is 121 rupees per kg, only then the government will interfere and bring it back to the essential list in order to control its price. So 100% is the limits set for perishable food items. So on one hand, by removing these items from essential commodities, the government has taken a good step boosting the farmers' income. But on other hand, the will price will rise, hoarding and black marketing will increase. That may lead to monopoly of few individuals over prices of certain goods. Because let's say if I am a trader or big agriculture company or a private retailer like Reliance, Spencer, or any other of the food market chain that you have seen near your place, like Easy Day, something, hypermarket, and anything. I can go too deep into the villages, buy agriculture products directly, give the farmers the best price, and come back to the city and on the profit anywhere between 50% to 100% depending upon whether it's perishable or non-perishable items. For example, in the above example I said if tomorrow the cost of my favorite dal goes more than 151 rupees per kg as per this new amendment only, then the government will interfere to control its price. Now, as a private company, I have a liberty to set the price of the dal anywhere between 100 to 150 rupees per kg. Of course, I can blindly sell it at the highest price because then I will lose out on customers. But I am also assuming that the farmers are smart and they will also increase the prices while selling it to these private players. If that this is the case, still the private companies will sell it higher price to make profit. So it doesn't matter, ultimately it's going to pinch yours and mine pocket, guys. We all know that agriculture as a subject comes under the state list. So the opposition parties are saying it is highly centralizing act. The center is interfering with the state subjects, but if you see, the central government is interfering little bit, not completely, because the Essential Commodities Act gives the bar to the central government. Plus, the central government is not deciding the price of agriculture commodity. It is just setting the limit within which the price has to fluctuate. So these are three farm bill introduced by the central government. I hope you came the clarity over it, but one thing you have to prepare for is that the cost of the food items. In summary, now the farmers have some problem with these bills that they have been telling the central government, but the government isn't taking the necessary step towards it. Hence, they have moved their agitations to Delhi from Punjab and Haryana to push pressure on the government to take the necessary steps. In actual, let me tell you more problems in the bills like MSP I mentioned. If they have a problem with the corporate company regarding the payment issues, then they can go up to the SDM for itself. Neither they can approach in court decisions, petitions. So there is no act in the bill's guidelines. Third, the mandis that come under the APMCs from where the government buys the produce according to MSPs. Farmers fear the government intentions of systematically removing this. So recently, government sends proposal to farmers and amid the protests, offer assurance on MSP APMC sales sources. The government has sent its new proposal to the farmer amid protest a day after farmer leaders met Home Minister Amit Shah. The government's negotiations with farm unions to end the protest have reached a critical point, with the centre submitting in writing the amendment it proposed to the contentious three bills in along with an assurance on MSP. Top sources in the government said the key amendments being proposed in the bills are an attempt to provide a tangible proposal to a number of unions along with the protesters who are not adamant on repealing the bills have been pursuing reasonable demands. The following are the proposals amendment to APMC law as per the proposed amendment. The APMC and free market mandis would have the same tax rate. Amendment to dispute resolution mechanism. The government has proposed farmer tribunal to be formed or court protection against the corporates. Under the current bill, dispute resolution was at the STM label. That means farmers who have a grievance with the sale have to approach the local SDMs. Government proposes amendments to registration system. The government is likely to propose that open market traders would have to be registered with the proper verification. The law had suggested that a trader could indulge in purchases based on PAN card. Amendment to central contract farming. The government has proposed assurance that contract farming nothing will happen to the land of the farmer, or in case the contractor takes a loan, the land would not be mortgaged. The farmers had made this one of the key campaign issues, claiming that they would lose the right to their land due to the provision of the laws. Assurance on minimum support price. Assurance on MSP. The government is ready to provide the farmers in writing an assurance that the MSP system will not be jettisoned. They will not be, removed to the new laws. Government ready to provide assurance on procurement. This was the issue that initially led to the farm stare as a Punjab farmers under the current system that procures most of their produce used to have assured MSP. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar in August had issued an open letter assuring that this, but despite it, BJP Ali Akali Dal walked out of the Council of Ministers and the NDA. This was due to the pressure exerted by the Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh, who questioned the participation of Akali Dal's Harsimrat Kaur as a minister in the Modi cabinet. that cleared the farm ordinances. Government ready to take back the stubble burning ordinance and electricity ordinance. The former have been demanding to scrap off tough penalties imposed by the law against stubble burning. The government has proposed to take back the FIRs and case filed against the protesting farmer and union leaders. These amendments will be scrutinized by farm unions and they would revert back. So guys, pray for the farmers, and they must understand, because somewhere they have been misled by the opposition. But I would tell that there is something missing by the central government, and they must be in consultation, but their proposal is to be in they will notifying and they will revert back once they will scrutinize. So guys, hope you have enjoyed this video and shall get back to you with new topic very soon. Till then, please allow me to signing out. Catch you soon. Bye bye. Take care and stay safe and follow the COVID guidelines till the vaccine comes. Bye bye.